Are you guys ready for some Silverstone? Where are my Project Amang boys at? Hello? Wait, don't tell me Project Namek is RIP. Oh, tell me that. Oh, tell me that. Don't you dare. Welcome, everybody. It is the RacingSimRigs Super Trofeo series here at Silverstone. It is a nice sunny day here at the... Well, it's not the Emerald Isles. I was about to say that. Look at that. I made a track map. Look at that. That's looking so good. 8 o'clock in the morning. A track length of 5.8 kilometers above a 146 meter sea level. It is clear skies, southwesterly wind of 12 kilometers. 21 degrees Celsius and 69 degrees freedom units.
Nice.
Nice. Craig, that's very nice.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Silverstone, and I think really with the weekend we've just had, I think it's fantastic to have it right here. And in fact, Callum Beaumont is carrying the face of the legend of Murray Walker after what happened this weekend. A Raidillon TV logo, but we don't care about that today. That lovely face of Murray Walker on the top of that car is great to see. Callum Beaumont, by the way, currently P2 in the championship. Christian Furs with 566 and Callum Beaumont with 560. That's right, just 6 points between first and second. Raidillon Lee third with 454. Ryan Hamilton with 410. Daniel Gilding with 406 rounds out the top 5. And it's going to be a close one, especially when it's the endurance race. 75 minutes around Silverstone, which means that the full 100 points is up for grab in one race. Who wants it the most?
Oh, Bono. I don't want points. I just don't want points on my super license.
Well, you know what the points win, Rob? What do points win you?
They win you a rig if you're good enough.
Come on, no. You've never watched Bruce Forsyth. Come on, folks. What do points win? Prizes! That's right.
A brand new hatchback.
No, it was what do points win? Prize of the crowd.
See, Neil Butler get it.
Prizes.
Neil Butler gets it. I don't, because I'm not English.
I know, yeah, prizes. And the prize, as Rob said, is a sim rig from RacingSimRigs. The amateurs are starting their qualifying. Remember, because it's the endurance race, it means hyperpole as well. So top 5 will be going again. Callum Beeman setting the early charge for 2 minutes 3:37. For half a second slower than what he was in practice earlier. And Christian First throws in a 2 minute 0:77, which is 8 thousandths slower than what he did in practice. So those are the top names. Danny Hitchin as well, throwing a 2 minute 6:31. And then newbie Brent Bravata was 4th, now put down to 3rd with a 2:01.673. And Ryan Hamilton with a 2:01.091. So yeah, Brent Bravata, a brand new driver first, also coming to the Super Trofeo series is Zachary Yama for VRT, an occasional, well not an occasional, a staple in the World Series in the amateurs. So trying his forte in the Super Trofeo series, and you can still see these names and numbers running down the list at the moment.
Harry, you forgot something.
Oh, yeah, he probably fixed it.
He forgot the A in Sakurayama. I was wondering why I saw green going around. I was like, hang on a minute.
Oh, yes, no. I was going to say, it's not just Callum Beeman's car. Or it was Andy Hitchin's car as well.
Daniel Gilding.
Ryan Hamilton's. You know, yeah, Daniel Gilding as well. Ryan Hamilton. And some of the Eclipse guys also have it. Simon Dodd has it as well. I think... Ryan Hamilton, I think, in the community made that lovely little decal. I might be wrong. Someone will probably correct me very shortly, but yeah, it's a very nice, touching tribute there.
I think, you know, that's the best way to remember the Walker. You know, not even that, the Murray Walker, because, you know, there'll never be a time, you know, we really shouldn't be, you know, upset at his passing, but we should be proud of the fact that he's done so much for nearly every sport he's touched. And, you know, it's the way to celebrate the man. I think it's a better way it's the way we should be doing things. Celebrate the man. He may be gone, but he still lives on with the amount of Murrayisms that he has. I think it'll be lasting for a very long time.
Fantastic. I want to say, Rob, though, everybody always said he should have been knighted. Why was he not knighted? He was only an OBE. There was a video that BBC played back when they interviewed Murray Walker, and he showed him around his house, and he goes, and this is my prized possession, and he opens up a box. It's his OBE medal. He didn't care what he got. He was just happy that all his work was done with just an order of the British Empire. Not knighted, an order of the British Empire, and he held on to that. And I remember he said in the video, they don't give these out like hot pockets or something along those lines. I've done a Murrayism there. I've not completely quoted him, and I think that is fitting.
Some people believe they give these out like hot pockets, and that just simply isn't true. So why doesn't he move?
Well, the amateurs, the pros are about to move. We missed the amateurs going around their second lap, of course. The top 5 do go out on hyperpoles. The Christian First did not improve. Daniel Gilding improved up to P2 for 2 minute 187. And Callum Beeman did not improve. He sit with that 2 minute 337. Andy Hitchens with a 2 minute 547. And Zachary Yama rounds out the top 5 with 2 minute 919. So they'll go for hyperpole for the amateurs. But I think now it's time for the pros to spread their wings. And it gives me a nice time to bring up the pro points. The all-important pro points. With Tanguy van der Weegar still leading the fray after the double And what one hell of a double it was last week. 558 points. Jonas Dreyer in P2 with 492. The Milan Tikins, who's not here this week, on 428. James Armstrong with 398. Harry Wills with 392. Rounds out your top 5. They've all got a chance to get into that top 3. And in fact, when you think about it, Harry Wills is only 100 points away from Jonas Dreyer. You know, if something crazy happens, Harry Wills could walk out of here in second. So he's still in. He's still in right now. So that's why the top 5 is so close. Just 30 points, really, between 3rd to 5th. And, you know, top 3 do get prizes. Not just the winner gets a sim rig. You know, every 2nd and 3rd do get prizes. So all important for them to just do well.
I mean, it'll be a bit tricky. It is Silverstone. It is the new layout. And, you know,
Can we call it a new layout?
Well,
it's been like this for 10 years.
Do you know, I was thinking about this the other day. I was actually pondering on it. I was like, why do I still call this a new layout? And I think I found the reason why. If nothing else, I kind of just miss the old layout. I mean, it's not that radically different, but it feels so different compared to what I'm used to. I'm used to like that last section just being an absolute hammer blow in terms of just yeeting it into bridge, going through that crazy right-hander past dip, and you know, just reminiscing over the fact that Barrichello was hounding people at one point. I think it was 2001. He basically overtook 2 sets of people. It was either Juan Pablo Montoya and Raikkonen, or it was Raikkonen and Pablo Montoya. He was hounding the both of them.
Shall we do a lap of the track because we love it so much? Tanguy van der Weegar is about to start his lap, and he comes to what is now the Lewis Hamilton straight, the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight, as he crosses the start-finish line. This is where the old track meets the new, and instead it's now right into Abbey, unlike the old track where it's left down into Farm Curb. Hug the apex kicks you out full speed, and then you brake at the 50 marker for the village turn, and then into the loop. You don't want to take all the exit, but you go down into first gear. Down you go, throttle down second, onto the throttle again, third, down into Aintree, still there, fourth, now down to the Wellington straight, and he just hits the 5th gear, in goes under the bridge still there. Watch that 100 mark, just there. He's going to break now at the 50 instead, down to 3rd. This is Brooklands, and then into Luffield, as Murray Walker called it. Luffield 1 in 2, when he gets back to the apex. Luffield 2, and now we come on to the old start-finish straight when we come past Woodcott. Famous for Nigel Mansell winning, famous for Schumacher, Hamilton, Barrichello, you name it, they won here. And into the old first corner. Cops trying not to take the car off the track, trying to use as much as he can. Very good there. Look at it, 4th gear corner there. Carry as much speed as he can. And now Maggots into Beckett. Left, into the right. And then you want to start braking now into the left again. Comes around Beckett. Another right. He's in 3rd now. Using all the curve there, the runoff as he comes through Chapel Curve. He's back up into 4th. He'll go under the Johnny Walker Bridge on the Hangar Straight and into Stowe. He gets ready for Stowe. See that 100 marker just after it when the curve starts. Brakes down into 4th, into 3rd. Takes as much curve as he wants. Throttle late. Don't want to get an off track there. Takes all the speed he can into the Bell Chicane. Brake up the 100. Hard braking. 2nd, maybe 1st. Yes, 1st. Don't hit the sausage as you come through the Bell Chicane, and don't hit that sausage as you're coming out of club. Back to the Lewis Hamilton straight, and that will be Tanguy van der Weegar with a first of a 1:59.214.
Setting the standard and setting it early. I think that's what he wants to do, and well, he's done it successfully. Will Egby open to 3rd, Jonas Dreyer 2nd, Christian Furs is the lead amateur, so he'll get to go again. James Armstrong set to 158. The 158s have just been achieved by Mr. Armstrong. What a credible lap. 158.936. As Harry Wills is now in the bubble, needs to be careful. Needs to make sure that he executes well on the second lap. He's got toe. Remember, no passing under qualifying. Richard Dempsey, part of VRT in Profield, newest member. Oh, crikey! That's Harry Melvin. And he spun. That's it. He's not going to be able to qualify again. And it's looking like he's going to be at the back of the Profield.
Key thing, Rob, though, he did not hold up Wills or Van Ash or even more Armstrong. They managed to power through. He spun off the racing line. So that they're able to keep to their, keep to their lines, keep to where they want to go. Oh, that's not, I'm just watching Kangai. I'm just watching Van der Weegar. Did not have a very good Beckett into Chapel. Almost looked like he had to just slow down a little bit. Don't have timing splits, but it's going to be interesting. Remember, Van der Weegar will be the first car in the pros to set his second lap. He needs to find 3 tenths. I mean, that's a lot to find. It's 0.279 is the gap, but Van der Weegar will be coming around now to the Vel chicane again. Not hitting those sausages. Oh, he's just run over a sausage at Club. He's going to cross the line. Is he faster? He is, but it's not enough. It's a 1:59.053. What about Will Egby? He will come across the line. It is not faster either. Christian Furs is not setting a time. Harry Wills is now into... Christian Furs is the amateur. I'm used to him being a pro. I apologize. Harry Wills crosses the line. It's faster. It's at 1:59.958. He's up to 4th. That puts Will Egby in at the bubble. And he hasn't done a faster lap time. And I believe that's all of the pros.
Now, it is combined, what I would consider the do or die qualifying for Enduros. You basically have to go back out there again for the top 5 of each class and set a new lap. Some guys will be making sure they exchange the cars. Warranty services are available here at Silverstone, so if you need to exchange your car after a smoky lap, you may do so. So that means the top 5 of Pro, which is James Armstrong, Van der Weegar, Jonas Dreyer, Harry Wills, and Will Egby will qualify. And top 5 of Amateur, that is Christian Furs, Daniel Gilding, Callum Beament, Andy Hitchkins, and Zakaria Yama are the top 5 for Amateur, and they will qualify again, trying to improve their lap times. Let's see how they do.
And a quick reminder, with the way, if you've never seen Hyperpole before here, they go out in the order they qualified. So Armstrong will be the first one to set a lap, then Weegar, then Dreyer, then Wills, then Egby. And then, of course, Furs is behind them, and then all the amateurs in that order. So we will see the leaders set their times, and I'm just trying to think to myself, if I'm Van der Weegar, where am I finding that 10th? It's tough. Maybe it is Beckett's. Maybe. It just felt like he had to slow down a bit at Beckett's. It could be Beckett's. He might have to find a little bit of speed somewhere. Probably, I think, attacking the sausages at Club there was really handy. You can't do it at the Vel chicane, but he just managed to just roll over a little bit on the sausages there at Club. Might be able to get some more time out of that. The others, of course, well, Jonas Dreyer is 4 tenths behind. But still, 1:59.41 is great. He might be able to find those tenths, but it's going to be tough. Harry Wills put in a blinding lap with 1:59.958, taking that P4. Can Will Egby find the 3,000ths he needs to get past Wills? Sources point to yes, and the key thing is, when we look at Hyperpole, the positions that usually change is the amateurs. So can Daniel Gilding upset the apple cart and take pole away from Christian Furs? The gap was only 900ths of a second. What can Callum Beaumont do? 3 tenths back. Not Dennis Van Asch. I've already done what Rob's done. Everyone else down the bottom. Andy Hitchkins can go faster. He did a 2:133 in practice, and of course his time was a 2:547. So he could go faster, but he might be the only one I would. Looking at predictions, maybe Callum Beament as well. Yeah, it's hard to look at the amateurs. They've got time that they can get. But for the pros, it's where do you find it? They're going faster than they did in practice. Double sausage. Who remembers the club bars in the UK? They know they still make them, don't they? Yeah, they still make them. I'm just thinking to myself, yeah. Had that catchy slogan. Now I want a chocolate bar, and I'm going to blame Slevin for making me want a chocolate bar. So, what's interesting as well is Van der Weegar is very close to Armstrong, and so is Dreyer. Neither of them. This is interesting. Neither of them is holding back. Actually, Dreyer is. But Weegar is just going to roll with the punches. He's going to be right behind James Armstrong. Armstrong spins on the start-finish line. Pole position out of Piper Pole with one mistake, and he holds the brakes. He's going to let everyone go by. He just pushed too hard on that start. Did he just go too far over the line? Oh, the car went. The back of the car went. So that is a shame. So that leaves Weegar with an open goal if he wants it. Well, not really an open goal. Think of it like you're playing basketball with yourself, because the hoop's there. No one's defending you, but it's still, you know, it's still a hard target, even with the backboard. So pole position will not be setting a lap. That is crucial. And the gap between Dreyer and Weegar, by the way, is a second. So Dreyer might be getting some sort of slipstream. In fact, the gap's now 0.8 of a second. So keep our eyes as well. Harry Wills, by the way, let Will Egby go by. Not sure what happened there. Was that a letting him go per se, or was that a mistake from Wills? I'll just have a quick look. It was neither. He just let him by for this. He just let him by, so that's okay. Not seeing anything else at the moment when it comes to mistakes being made. And I think everyone's left the server getting ready for their racing once the practice, once the hyperpole is over. Van der Weegar is coming around to Stowe right now on his fast lap. It's been pretty clean, if I do say so myself. But of course, did he have to slow down a little bit when he saw that spin of James Armstrong in front of him? We'll see. Not attacking the curves as much as I would expect. It almost looks like this is a bail lap, and he's getting ready for this lap. We'll just see when he crosses the line. It's going to be a 1:59.525. So yeah, that's the case. Dreyer, 1:59.246, goes faster. What about Wills? Just avoiding an off-track. It's a 2:01. He had issues. Will Egby, 1:59.776, goes faster. What about the amateurs? Furs, no. Beemont, no. But Daniel Gildy just fires in a 1:59.770. That's the fourth fastest, but crucially, pole for the amateurs. Wow, that's a time. That's a time, and nobody else goes faster in the pro. Actually, Takarina Yama did go faster, but it's only a 2:09.10, which I think is... It's literally 9 thousandths faster than his other qualifying lap, so that's a big difference. And Van der Weegar is slowing down. Now, I have no idea if that's him just having issues or, having an off-track and just giving up, but Weegar is been overtaken with Jonas Dreyer. Now, there's no overtaking allowed in qualifying, and it does feel like that Weegar is let him by. So, I'm not sure how the stewards are going to look at that, because they can, unfortunately, give out qualifying bans for situations like that. But Jonas Dreyer will be the first one to set a lap time. He did go faster. He went almost 2 tenths faster last lap. He's got to find another 2 tenths if he wants to get past Weegar. He's got to find 3 tenths if he wants to get past James Armstrong. He'll be the first car to set a lap here, which does sound weird. It should be Van der Weegar, but coming through Vale Chicane one last time into Club. Very tidy, very tidy. Not using all the apex out of Club. Here he comes down the Lewis Hamilton straight. What is Dreyer going to fire in? It's not faster. And of course, Weegar definitely not faster. Will Egby be the next pro across the line? What can he do? It's faster. It's a 1:59.731. It won't get him anywhere. And Harry Wills goes faster, but still nothing. Christian Birds goes faster. Cannot beat Daniel Gilding. Callum Beamont. What will he do now? Can he find a time? He can go faster. He knows it. He'll come across the line. It's faster, but it's not enough to take another position. And Andy Hitchkins, well, he goes faster. Cannot find a position. Zachary Yama wants to get... All right. Zachary. Sorry. Zachary Yama goes faster again. But let me just read off his times. Normal qualifying, 2 minute, 0.919. First hyperpole lap, 2 minute, 0.910. Yama's final lap of hyperpole, 2 minutes, 0.908. Talk about consistency. Wow.
And with that, that is the end of hyperpole. Now it is results time. Where are them dastardly results? Hang on a minute. There we go. James Armstrong in P1. You are P1? P1. As they say in F1 to every single radio message ever made. It's just the way it is. With a 1:58.936. Van der Wiege with a 1:59.093. Jonas Rea 1:59.246. Will Egby with a 1:59.731. And Daniel Gilding, the rank outsider in this group, stuck in a 1:59.770. Out of nowhere, just smashed it. Harry Wills 1:59.826. Christian Furze 1:59.953. And last of the 1:59s, Callum Beamont with a 2 minutes 2:09. Andy Hitchkins with a 2 minutes 2:68. Dennis Van Ash 2 minutes 5:01. Zachary Yama 2 minute 9:09. He's amateur. Ignore the color. It'll be fixed when we go into the race session. Ryan Hamilton with a 2:01.091. Chris Hamer 2:01.349. Matthew Sewell with a 2:01.358. Simon Dodd 2:01.426. Lydon Lee with a 2:01.540. Richard Dempsey with a 2:01.648. Brent Bravata with a 2:01.674. Final times coming in now for the ones that have qualified. Dean Timms a 2:01.876. Chris Chatterton with a 2:02.087. And Harry Melvin, unfortunately that spin really did cost him. He is at the back of those that have actually qualified. And those that have not qualified are all pros. Chris Daines did not qualify. Taylor Lane did not qualify. Neither did Ted Bradbury. 24 races in total.
4 races. That's a nice round number. 24. Inferior. I'm knocking on wood as usual. That it shouldn't cause a lot of start chaos. We know what start chaos at Silverstone's all about. We've seen it a couple of times. So hopefully there isn't any of those. But that was Yama. I mean, I can't get over that consistency. He gets faster by 9,000, gets faster by 2,000. I mean, that there's consistency and there's just that. So, really did enjoy that. I apologize, by the way, if my voice sounds very... I'm not sure what the word is, but...
Raspy?
Raspy, yeah. No idea what's going on.
Fix it.
I put it down to... I put it down yesterday to, Saturday was rough, as you can imagine. And I thought, maybe it's the same, and no, it wasn't. And James Armstrong saying season 2 flashbacks. No. Rob, remember season 1?
Oh, I remember it clearly.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. With the laps racing cars going into each other.
Oh dear.
Didn't someone fly into the pit lane, or was that was Le Mans?
That was at Suzuka. It was Egerton.
Suzuka,
Egerton flew in the wall. Flew into the
he
pits.
flew in the wall. But I remember Le Mans. I think somebody got thrown into the pits and had a speeding penalty.
No, that was definitely Suzuka. That was Louis got spat out from the track. He ramped up onto another car, And then he got a speeding penalty for his trouble because apparently he went too fast.
If you ever see that incident at Suzuka in our little video package before we go live, that's it. So yeah, that's the incident there, and the only thing I remember was the best thing I remember about that was one of the cars that spun was then carried on the hood of another car, and the car that was on the hood, the car that was being carried had the GoPro logo. So all the guy driving could see with a car on his in front of him with "Be a Hero," and he just drove down half the start-finish line with "Be a Hero" right in front of his face, his visor. I mean, to be fair, you have to be a hero to drive that crazy. Yeah, I thought it was James. I thought there was someone that got thrown into the pits at Le Mans. That was. I still have that commentary in my head. Just because grid start at Le Mans was chaotic, and I just remember it's 4, it's 5, it's 5, it's 5 are off, and I just remember that for some reason. I don't know. Neil Butler knows. I mean, how many times did Neil Butler get put on his roof in the first season?
Oh dear.
I mean, what was it? Watkins Glen and let's have a flashback. I'm sorry, Neil. We're waiting for the session to start up, so let's have a flashback. Because I remember Neil Butler flipped at Watkins Glen, and they said at Watkins Glen there was going to be a fast repair and a safety car. Because if there was an incident going up the S's on the first lap, they would throw a safety car, and they would also have the quick repair in case people got damage. The incident happened before the S's. It came out of the first corner. And Neil Butler had to get a waiver round because he had to tow because he was on his roof. I do remember that.
It's a disaster, really. On all accounts, it's a disaster.
It's a disaster. Yeah, still dizzy from Watkins.
This is the worst start I've ever seen in a Formula One race. I remember. Which year was it at Spa?
That was Spa '98. That was Spa '98. Yeah, and then the wet Spa.
Oh God!
I mean, the best thing is, I don't know if you've seen it. The F1 channel today has released a 12-minute video of the great Murray Walker moments on the
remember when he said 5 laps instead of 5 lights?
Yeah.
I even forgot
1
about
light,
that.
2. I didn't know about that. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 laps. And because he knows he has to go racing, he had to go racing, he couldn't even correct himself. There was just a chuckle, and that was it. What a professional he was. Oh, look, there's the incident we're on about at Suzuka on the intermission screen.
Yeah, just a car getting launched into the stratosphere.
Well, Rob, F1 testing was over this weekend. That's our motorsport news. Very. How do you do a comment about F1 testing? Because you never look at testing and go, ooh, that just shows speed. That team's fast, and it's like no, it's hard.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, Nürburgring as well as a washout, having lots of Murrayisms. That was fantastic. But the F1 testing was quite interesting because it was nice to see McLaren at near the top, just because the guys with the Mercedes engines were struggling with gearbox, and then McLaren's like, yeah, we make our own gearbox, we're fine, we know what we're doing, and it really did show because Mercedes did have issues.
Well, they're having issues right now.
Yeah.
Because they've just admitted that the Red Bull, pound for pound, is faster than their car.
Are you going to believe that?
No, not at all.
What was it? 2015. Mercedes go out of preseason testing. Ferrari strong. We're not going to beat the Ferraris. And then come Australia, Lewis Hamilton's on pole. Toto goes, it was a fantastic qualifying by Lewis. Probably the greatest qualifying he's ever had. And then Lewis wins the race. What a drive. Why am I sounding Scottish all of a
You,
sudden? instead
you
of
are
being
you are
German?
you're trying to do a German accent, but you're
Yeah,
also sounding
I
very
don't know
Scottish.
why. Yeah, no, he was going, "What's a drive?" You know, what a, and I'm thinking to myself, really, really,
It's like
okay.
you taking the funny bone.
You taking the Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, you taking the Mickey Mouse out of us there, Toto. Come on now. We know you've been on some Red Bull there, but come on now. You can't be that
So
hyped up about things.
it was just like, okay, you wait for the next race. Maybe this Ferrari speed will come, and it never came. And you're there just thinking, And I think that was when the birth of the. I better not say this because it'll be muted on Mercedes Twitter. The birth of the sandbag. I know. But like, how do you like trust what they're saying after that? Like,
Though,
Red Bull did look strong. I'm not going to deny it. Red Bull looked strong. McLaren looked strong.
to be fair though, I would have said, if I'm going to be honest, I would have said, you know, given the fact that I have looked at the footage, it is actually looking rather skeptical out there. A lot worse than it has actually looked skeptical when they've in the years that they've gone. Yeah, lads, we're gonna be you know it's gonna be in a bit of an oofy spot, you know.
They still got 2 weeks, so they still got 2 weeks, and you know a lot can happen in 2 weeks in Formula One. They can come back and get some changes and probably get some fixes ready, but at the same time, I go back to this every time we talk about what's going to happen to teams this year. I go back to where did they draw the line on developing this year's car and putting focus into next year's car, because next year's a big year in Formula One with the new regulations. So I do wonder, is it going to hinder Red Bull? Because they probably, if they're doing well, are they going to start pumping more resources into this year's car to try and win that championship? If they're there, you know, or not, you know. When do the teams decide? Because it's still a 21 race season, isn't it? So when do you say enough's enough? Do you quit at the summer break in terms of developing and just stick with what you got and then, you know, spend the rest? It's tough. So I am looking forward, if Red Bull is competitive. I am looking forward to seeing it. I mean, I prefer if it was Carlos other than Max, but still, you know, that's just because I'm a McLaren fan, so I'd like to see Carlos doing well. Not Carlos, sorry, Sergio. But I'd like to see Sergio do well, full stop, because he deserves it. No question about it. He does deserve a drive like that. So I'd like to see what Checo can do. But yeah, Max will probably be dominant again. It'll be interesting to see. Everyone always wanted to talk about that Sebastian Lewis battle. I think the Lewis Max battle is going to be big this year. Hopefully, I'm praying on a wing and a prayer.
That is also the thing, though. We are perfectly aware that it is Lewis's, you know, 1-year contract meme. Is he actually going to quit at the end of the year, or is he going to continue on?
It's a tough one. All depends what happens.
Because if what they say is true,
he's not been saying a lot recently. And I'm not saying that's because he doesn't want to say anything or he's unhappy or anything. He hasn't been saying a lot. But then again, does he need to say a lot? He lets his driving do the talking most of the time. But it's curious to see what happens. Are we going to get a Lewis with the 2009 McLaren? You know, when Braun just dominated him, and like Lewis had probably his worst year ever. Being caught lying in the first race. I mean, that's something I don't think any. Do you remember that when Lewis was caught lying in the first race?
he was caught lying. What did he do?
So he claimed, I can't remember what happened. Something about he claimed somebody overtook him and like they had to give the position back, or something happened that he said on the radio happened. And then it came apparent it never happened. But no cameras were on them at the time, so or like broadcast cameras, so they had to like go with telemetry and stuff like that. And I think he was saying that the driver in front had to like get his time back or something, get the position back or something, and he didn't. And Lewis was caught lying. And I think he got, I can't remember, did he get disqualified from that? I'm not entirely sure.
For the first race, I don't think he did.
I know because everyone was just talking about Brawn. It was Brawn. But yeah, I do remember. Yeah, it was the Truly Hamilton. It was Truly Hamilton. I'm just looking quickly on Wikipedia. I thought it was Jarno Trulli because I thought there was some irony to it because I don't know why, but Trulli was third place, and the stewards decided that the Italian regained his position, overtaking Hamilton during the safety car. So they penalised him 25 seconds. Trulli's explanation was, when the safety car came out towards the end of the race, Lewis passed me, but soon after he slowed down to pull over to one side of the road. I thought he had problems, so I overtook him, and there's nothing else I can do. But Hamilton said something about that, he just got overtaken by Trulli. He never mentioned that he slowed down or anything. In public, Hamilton corroborated this, saying that the McLaren team had told him to let Trulli pass. Behind closed doors, Hamilton told the steward that he received no instruction to allow Trulli to pass. So basically, they came back and Hamilton was penalised, and Trulli didn't get his time. He didn't get that time back, but so he did. Sorry, and Hamilton was disqualified.
Whew.
Yeah. And like I said, not many people remember it, but I do, just because I remember that hell that was 2009 from McLaren, because as I keep going back to, we go full loop again, Rob, because remember I was saying how teams, when they develop for next year, McLaren spent all their resources in 2008 making sure that Lewis won the championship after what happened in 2007. And because of it, they had nothing to show for the first half of 2009. Just because of that. So, and that just capped it off as well for Lewis. It was not a good start as the defending world champion.
And actually, just as an aside, by the way, I'm just looking at it now. McLaren are actually surprised that they are the only ones that managed to figure out the diffuser trick. It's not even a trick. I've done my research today on the rule book. They basically just followed the rules. It was like, oh yeah, there you go. There's the rules. And nobody else, and the fact that nobody else copped onto this was like, ooh.
So what's this diffuser trick?
They basically extended the transition from the old maximum depth to the new maximum depth. Basically allowing them to have extra barge, not barge board, but finlets on the underside, on the rear diffuser. So essentially, it just means that they've looked at the rules and been like, all right, we can do this, and then nobody else followed suit, and it's like, I think you made a mistake there, boys.
But like I said, 2 weeks until the first race. How many of those teams will go with that and get that new diffuser? See what I mean?
Not a lot, no.
Really? You don't think so?
No, because they have to test it again. If they've made their cars, if they made their cars right, then they're kind of like, well, what are we gonna get? What kind of thing are we gonna get? What kind of advantage are we going to get? And it's just going to be like, well, is it going to be a good advantage or is it just going to be minimal? And it's like, what's the point? And also, if they change that part, they actually have to spend a token to change it, I think.
Oh, okay.
As far as I'm aware, but I might be incorrect as well, so.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Of course, McLaren don't have any tokens to spend this year, which I still find... Not as a McLaren fan, I just find confusing. Because it's not their fault that the regulations got pushed back a year. So, of course, because they went to a Mercedes engine, they were allowed to keep the Mercedes engine. this year, but they had to use all their tokens, which does seem a bit unfair.
Well, let's put it this way. At least they now have an extra year to be able to test out the new Mercedes engine.
Exactly. And like I said, if they were one of the only Mercedes cars to not have issues with the gearbox because they're using their own gearbox, I think they're onto something there. So, but also, can I just say, at the end of the morning sessions, usually McLaren's on top, and it just felt so nice to see McLaren Mercedes. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just felt fantastic. Dean Tim saying, "Our Murray tribute." Oh, what are they doing in the pit? What are they doing? Yeah, it's their Murray tribute. Yeah, with the Murray helmet, the Murray livery, and all that stuff. I wonder what Dean Tims was saying. I thought they were like doing some sort of formation lap with Murray Walker, or forming the shape of an M in the pit lane or something. Hakon Lindmo said, McLaren made a new front wing at the end of last season since they knew they had to use all the tokens on the engine this season. Exactly, and stuff like that will help them. But of course, they're going to be in that situation like Haas, that probably won't spend it. Well, Haas won't spend any tokens unless they really need to. McLaren can't spend any tokens, so do what they can and just roll with the punches, roll with the bones. We are just a minute away from the race start, with the grid starting. Oh, they did actually do photos. They did actually do photos, Rob. All four of them in a line, just out of turn 1, I want to say, or turn 2. All in a line with the Murray Walker. Looks fantastic. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, 51 seconds until they grid up. What are the predictions for the race? We know that Van der Weegar is not pole. He's at the front. But the championship leader is not on pole position. And of course, Jonas Dreyer as well. He did not have a good time out there. So I think he came P3, I believe. Do not quote me on that, because my quoting is very bad. Wait to see what he does. Of course, the amateurs, that's another story in itself with how close it is. I mean, out of nowhere we had, what was it, Daniel Gilding, wasn't it? Daniel Gilding was pole. So that's one out of nowhere. And of course, he's sitting P5 in the championship. Could really make some waves getting up to the top 3 with a good result today. So we shall wait and see what he's got in store for us. We'll wait and see what the pros have in store. Harry Wills as well, by the way. That P5 is going to be very crucial. See where he goes as well, because top 3, it's all a good little battle for the top 3 in pros. But we're about to grid. So as we start to grid, just to give you a quick rundown of the track temperature, the track situation. It is 20 past 3 in the afternoon on a nice 15th of March. That is the sim time, 15th of March. Track temperature 24 Celsius to 75 Fahrenheit for everybody using Freedom units. 60% humidity. That's crucial, 60% humidity. Could be a little bit of sliding. That's pretty humid. Hang on, I'm gonna look out the window. It wasn't that humid today. I'll tell you what, it was cold. It was cloudy. It was. The sun was out, but it could not get out with the clouds. So this is not indicative of the weather in England right now. I'll tell you that for sure. They will start the long procession. I say the long procession. They're at Stowe, and they're about to come down to the Vale chicane. Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. The pace car will go in, but the start procedure means that we will not see Armstrong lead the way until they get to the line. Ma is there. The Queen is there, leading them away. We wait for Armstrong to lead them off into the first few corners. He waits, the green flag goes, he waits, holds them up even more, now he goes, catches them off going, and Van der Weegaard has blocked off Dreyer right away. He's blocked him off right away as they go straight down to Abbey. It's going to be single file, looks like a little bit of too wide in the back. He just keeps off as well, so single file down. Who's going to make the move as they go down into Village? Different lines being taken by all drivers. You can see Dreyer trying to get by Van der Weegaard. Meanwhile, in the back, that looks to be Van Ash having issues. Harry Wills having issues, I apologise. And Harry Wills may lose to Harry Melvin, but at the front, still looking fine. Let's quickly go to the amateurs. Daniel Gilding is leading the fray. Christian Furs is there. It's all single file at the moment as they're going on. A little bit of argy-bargy. Anybody making some positions up? It's Lyden Lee making a couple positions up. Just doing his thing as they keep on going. Looking pretty solid at the front as Van der Weegaard is battling with James Armstrong. Down as they come down to Woodcote. They continue down to the old start-finish straight. The gap is 0.2. We knew it'd be touch and close, the nip and tuck as they come down to the old first corner, down into Cops. And it looks like Van der Weegaard's just got a little bit more control there. Just taking a little bit slower just to get a good line. Will not make a move through Maggots and Beckett, but watch this. Watch the top 5 just go through Maggots and Beckett just in a line.
It is a... Once it's a dancing by numbers, essentially. They just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in a line all the way from first down to essentially 12th as Van der Weegaard looks on the inside coming down into Stowe, and he's got I was going to say he's got the job done, but he doesn't actually. He's actually falling backwards. He's falling backwards into the clutches of Jonas Dreyer, who's going to try and go around the outside coming through Luffield. No, correction, that's not Luffield. Is it Luffield? No, it's not. I got it wrong.
No, Chicane, it's a club. Yes, it's club. Oh, Rob.
Oh, I'm a failure. No, don't sue me, please. I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong side of the track.
Oh dear,
Lap 1 is done.
Lap 1 is done. The amateurs, again, they're having a little bit of a quiet moment in the amateur field.
Oh, Melvin's
holding off. Melvin's off. Yes, Melvin is off. What has happened there to Melvin? Oh, he's just gone a bit too hard and cut the grass. The grass strikes again.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. I bet he was not expecting the grass to essentially kill him, but unfortunately, he'll have to start fuel saving to try and get some time back. It's very unfortunate for him. I mean, that's basically the only other incident is Chris Hamer. I'm trying to see if I can let's find Chris Hamer here. What happened to him? Let's see what happened to you, Chris Hamer of MH Design. Did he have an oops? I think he did. Let's use the.
I have not seen.
Let's use the. And that's why I'm coming back to it. And Dynamic TV 2. Let's see what happened to poor Chris Hamer. He might have actually lost it on his own. Oh, he did. Oh no! Coming through. Just going back towards it now. I just see this coming through. Maggots. Yeah. The car just says nope. Bye bye. And yoink into the wall, and that's a lot of damage.
Well, Chris Daines on this lap has made up a couple places, and he's made a couple places because Ted Bradbury had a little bit of an excursion through Stowe. Doesn't make up for one of the other positions there, but Chris, that would have been belonging to Harry Melvin, but Chris Daines making positions up. He's made up, back up just +1, but he's made up 2 that lap as he's pushing on to Richard Dempsey, the Eclipse car there, battling away. Have a look at the amateurs quickly. Christian Furs is trying to find ways around Daniel Gilding, and remember, 75-minute race, it's 2 mandatory pit stops. Don't need to be so aggressive right away. They want to find their positions on the road to try and dictate the pace instead of being dictated, and You can see that Furs is trying to find, but he is matching Daniel Gilding's pace at the moment. So it's very tough to. It's tough if you're going to be matching. So that's exactly what he doesn't want. He kind of wants to be in the front here, but a little bit of fuel saving by the Vector RSR driver might be able to get that fuel saving. Just catch him out in the pit, and we've seen it before. Also, key word here, Jonas Dreyer in the pros. Remember the last endurance race we did? Remember the severe undercut he made? That helped him leapfrog him? With Van der Weege and Armstrong battling in front of him in the pros, he could do that same move. And it might pay off. We'll wait and see.
Started third, currently still third, sitting behind Van der Weege as he tries to take on James Armstrong. Armstrong is not letting go of first position. He's holding on to it and holding on to it tight. Coming through club now onto the new start finish straight. Lap 3 is already is about to be completed. And that was very quick order. 38 tentative laps. I'm going to say it's 37 actual laps are going to be completed today, given the current pace of 2 minute flats. You can do the math. A minute and 15 into an hour and 15 into 2 minutes. That's 30 laps plus change. So in and around 37, 38. But I would say 37 including the pit stops. There's 2 pit stops and they're both mandatory. So if they take tires, it could be 37 as Armstrong leading them off. The last lap between Van der Weege and Armstrong was basically separated by 3/100ths of a second. And the time difference essentially right now is basically Van der Weege is following the rear end of Armstrong as he's trying to get away, but he's not fast enough to get away. And Weege is probably using all of that slipstream to try and squeeze a little bit of fuel out of the fuel tank, a little bit extra anyway, out of the fuel tank to try and do potentially undercut or an overcut and just use less and just be in the pits for about a second less. I was about to say a second slower. It's not good English.
A second slower, yeah, it's not that good English. Go back to English school, please, Mr. Irishman. It's interesting to see what's happening here. It is a lot of fuel saving. It's what we expect when it comes to a race like this. You can get a full tank in the first pit stop, and then you have a lighter tank of fuel for the second pit stop, and that's what they're trying to avoid. Is trying to see how light they can fill up the second time to get by. Just watching Jonas Dreyer just hitting the sausages, and again as he goes from club. Velchicane into clubs, so losing a little bit of time to Weege and Armstrong. They're all matching times here. Sans Dreyer did a 2:4.83, while the others both did a 1:87 and a 2:27 for Armstrong and Weege, respectively. As he continues to slide. No, Dreyer's off. Contact by Dreyer. He's done the same thing as we saw earlier. He's hit the grass. He's hit the grass, and P2 in the championship's in the wall. And that is heavy damage. Would not be surprised if he's crabbing right now. It's heavy damage. He's trying to get the car off the track. And I think his race is done. He has got steering damage. He's got suspension damage. He has got suspension damage. And he's going down the order. It's not a lot.
How? Like, is this car lethal? Like, that is just a smidgen of grass. And yoink, it goes around. Well, we've had 3 drivers. Unfortunately, all of their accidents have been on their own. And in two cases, it's been in the same position with the grass just being absolutely cutthroat.
Farmco with a tough corner in these GT.
Oh, Chatterton's gone off as well.
Chatterton off? If he's gone off in the same place, I don't know what to think.
He's had a slide into maggots there. A very slow one. Oh, that's quite odd. No, sorry, that's not. Where am I?
That's Brooklands.
It's Brooklands, correction, yeah. Very odd one there. Let's have a look at what happened to him. Oh, that slide started way back. Oh dear. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
Rob Armstrong's got a very good response there. A bit of grass, deaf. Whole wheel on grass, you're fine. While we're watching this, Harry Wills and his teammate Dennis Van Ash, the Twisted guys, having a little bit of a battle, and Harry Wills goes up to P4 now because of what happened with Jonas Dreyer. Just changes the whole complexion. Of course, Dreyer does go into the pits. He gets the car back, but at what cost? Jonas Dreyer was second in the championship by 60 points. I think he had a bad race week, a bad race night last week, and you know what's going to be his worst drop week. That is going to be pretty crucial, as that gap will just extend if Van der Weega can get this win, or even more, a P2. You know, anything like that would be fantastic. We'll see if Jonas Dreyer stays in the pits. Will he retire or not? Because at the end of the day, if he can just stay, well, he's got to stay on 2 laps down to get into the points, I believe. But if he sees Van der Weega and Armstrong battling like they are right now, coming out of Woodcock and Luffield, he might be happy with this, because Weegar's trying to find a move down into Copse and can't find it on James Armstrong. But Armstrong is under the most pressure he's been for the last 15 minutes of this race. Van der Weega trying to find a place through maggots, but cannot find it. Had to brake early and brake differently because of that dirty air. Right on the bumper of that Lamborghini. Well, they're all Lamborghinis, of course. The Ronin Simsport car fighting his way. And looks like the time of day's just changed. I just saw some sun coming out.
Let's put it this way. This is how you would actually say it. That Lamborghini of Van der Weega is on the rear end of that Lamborghini of a Product and
Sorry, are you saying it's a Lamborghini versus a Lamborghini in a Lamborghini series? Sacrilege.
I know, right? I mean, sheesh. I mean, who let the Lamborghinis out?
Who? I'm sorry, that's a very bad joke of mine.
Oh no!
Right, Rob is broken. This battle for the lead, it's looking good, but I don't think Van der Weega. We'll wait until they come out of Wellington. We'll wait to see if there's any move from Van der Weega here, because I'd love to get back to the amateurs while we have a little lull in procedures, and it does look like Weegar's not going to get a chance to be side by side to take the leads here. Just watching, no. So how's those amateurs getting on? Christian Furs did get past Daniel Gilding after a while. He's technically made up 4 spots on the racetrack, but just one. That very important P1 in the amateurs, and Daniel Gilding's behind him, but not much he can do at the moment. He's just in a little bit of fuel saving. Callum Beamont right behind him is also fuel saving, as is his teammate Andy Hitchkins. So those 3 are just cruising along at the moment, and just hoping that they can stay in the tow of Christian Furs, who it almost looks like he's getting a tow from Harry Melvin right now. Melvin's just not been on the pace today for the Eclipse guys after that spin. I think it probably knocked his confidence. It would me. Just being, getting a move like that. But Furs will use the slipstream to his advantage to try and pull away from Gilding, and just basically go to Daniel. You're not having any slipstream, so you're not fuel saving. So just do it properly. Don't use me. Do it properly if you want to beat me.
Wait, it's been Lambos? It always has been. Coxgun.
Can we say that?
Yeah. I mean, would you rather be factual or incorrect?
When have we ever been factual?
I cannot confirm or deny that we're all a bunch of liars. As we are the BBC, we have to be impartial. We cannot ourselves confirm or deny that we are ourselves truthful in the most 100% of the way, and we strive to be truthful.
That's why it always makes me weird when the BBC has to do an article on the BBC.
Oh, crikey. That's Melvin. What's going on? Oh, he's letting the amateurs by, I think.
No, he went wide and got almost tapped by the amateurs. Yeah, he went wide coming out into the loop and entry and just decided not. Jonas Dreyer has parked the car. P2 in the championship is officially out of the race following the grass, taking his car for a joyride. I mean, that's basically all you can describe it. It's a joyride.
There's no joy. There is. It's just fear, pure fear, as you get caught up by the grass. I mean, imagine going backwards at 250 kilometers an hour in a car that looks like it's made out of paper mache.
Are you saying this car's made out of paper mache?
Well, it's an Italian car, so more than likely. I mean, do you remember the time when they were the old 37 was racing the Audi Quattro? Have you seen any of the comparisons between the crumple zones of the 037 versus the Quattro?
I have not. Should I? Oh, hang on 1 second. James Armstrong's gone wide. He's gone wide at entry and Van der Weegar's got the lead. No idea what happened there to Armstrong. Just watching it and it looks like I'm just going to see. Car just said no. I've never seen that. Car said no. What on earth?
Oh.
For Armstrong.
Yeah.
Went to turn into the corner and the car just slid. He had no grip. He was forced to take that line. So he's lost the lead to Van der Weegar. He's battling to keep in that slipstream, but we know that Armstrong was faster in practice and qualifying than Van der Weegar. So you never know. He might be able to hold on to this, but I've never seen that before. I mean, I've seen the car saying no and start sliding for the first corner, but for it to do that's a weird one, to do that to Abbey, because that really was just a case of no, I don't want to do it, and then he just has no choice but to just, turn left and just get out of it. So, well, I've seen it all now. Anyway, yeah,
understeer in a Lambo, yeah. Said no one ever. Correction. Said absolutely everybody ever.
So, I'm keeping my eyes, by the way, on this amateur battle because it's probably going to be a fuel-saving battle right now with Christian Furs leading off Daniel Gilding, Callum Beaumont and Andy Hitchkins. It does feel to me like it's going to be who gets the ability to fuel the least will decide who wins out of these four, but it's looking a very nice battle because they're all just in synchronicity. They're all synchronized, just going through the corners, going through the rhythms, and it's looking very nice. There are other battles down the field. Zachary Ayama battling Ryan Hamilton at the moment. It's Nomad versus VRT. Very familiar battle in the Super Trofeo series of these two teams battling on. Zachary Ayama had a P5, by the way, when it came to the start of the race, and has kept that P5 overall for the amateurs and doing well. But Ryan Hamilton battling behind in the Nomad. The Nomad with Murray Walker on the top, probably using the spirit of Murray to just get himself through Silverstone. But Murray never commentated on the new Silverstone. I never knew what his opinion was on the newer Silverstone. I'd love to know if anyone does know what he ever thought about it. Because
the current Silverstone, how about that?
Current Silverstone, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one because he probably commentated on all the iterations of Silverstone ever since the 70s. So probably the old days when it was literally an airfield, he probably didn't commentate on, but he probably would have been aware of it and probably watched them in the races. So he's probably seen them all. So would have loved to have known his opinion on the new section. But I know you hate it.
Bring back old Silverstone, please.
And now for impartiality, the new system, the new section is fantastic.
I just want to go under a bridge.
Can you imagine that in the focus groups? Well, sir, people like the new section, but we have a lot of angry people not liking it and want to go back to the old. Tell me, what are they saying? They're saying they want to go under a bridge. I'll tell you what, Jensen. Let's put a bridge on the Wellington Strait. And then they can't complain. So they're still complaining.
It's just like, gentlemen, you know, this thing about a bridge. Do we have a budget for that? No. Can we? No. Why not? Sir, I think you'll find out that bridge already exists. It's on the old track. Then why don't we have the old track back? Because the new one is better. Better? And then it'll just go on like that for an age on end.
Would it be nice if they could just like use the old track? They still have the old track there, or did they just completely get rid of it? No, they would have had to, wouldn't they? Because of Luffield and Brooklands. So yeah, they had to get rid of the old track.
I'm very upset.
Yeah, I know. Right. So, do you want to hear of a battle that has spanned the length of time and space in the Racing Sim Rig series? VRT versus Eclipse. Richard Dempsey versus Chris Daines, the 6th and 7th at the back of the pro field, battling away. They're just keeping their distance from the amateurs because about 6 seconds behind them are the lead amateur battle, but Chris Daines not exactly having a good way. He's made a couple of places up, but of course we've had a couple of retirements, so not having a good time. Richard Dempsey only making 1 place up, so that just shows you that Daines really needs this. And if you get past, he's then going to find another 2 seconds to get to Harry Wills in P5, but getting a P6, for point standards, especially in the endurance race, will be better than a P5. Only car, by the way, in the pros that goes under 2 minutes is James Armstrong with a 1:59.9. But Chris Daines at the moment battling with a 2:01.048 versus the 2:01.013 of Richard Dempsey in front as he comes down to Village. Just unable to make a move. And I think everybody, now they've seen the cars going off at Farm Curb, I think you know how the F1 drivers are told stay off the curbs at Silverstone because of tyre issues? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's what these guys are doing right now. Stay away from the curb of Farm. Stay away. That grass will kill you.
They are lethal. James Armstrong still trying to catch up to the rear end of Van der Weege. That one mistake costing him the lead, but it has changed things around. It has now put him on the rear end of Van der Weege to essentially do battle with and to see where this can lead us. By the way, coming up to 25 minutes gone with 51 minutes remaining, a lap 12 currently of a speculative 38. Remember, we think it'll be about 37 given the fact that it'll be 2 mandatory pit stops. Harry Melvin has parked the car, by the way. I think he has unfortunately had to retire after his few incidents. No real drama other than the fact that the grass is lethal. The grass is lethal, pass it on. It's going to be a bit nerve-wracking because in these cars you do really have to use all of the track. Instead of just going, hey, I just want to use a bit of it. Really, it is to go faster in here. You have to use all of it because through Meggetts and Beckett's, you really do need that optimum line. You can only get that through using nearly all of the curb and then some, and that's very precariously close to the grass. So,
and not to mention Farm Curb, because like I was saying when I was doing the track rundown, watching Tangai's lap, it's a case of the Apex wants to throw you out, and you are forced that way. So you have to get the turning in right to make sure you don't have happen what a couple of the guys did. getting thrown wide and clipping the grass. But I remember doing some IMSA races in these GT3s and having an LMP2 hit me because they weren't aware of how much the curb really throws you out. And as much as I tried to lift, I was still thrown out almost in the middle of the track. And we just made contact. It's one of these things. The GTEs just get away with it. They get thrown out a little bit. But these GT3s, just for some reason, the grip just goes and the car's just like, bye-bye. And it just changes the orbit. It changes the orbit. But you see what I mean? It's just very precarious situation. And we're watching this battle, by the way, and I'm looking at Chase, and every time I look at Armstrong, it's like he's right on the bumper, but it's only 0.2 of a second, as you can see in that timing map. So it's really surprising. There's no real room to make a send. I mean, if this was an official lobby, you know, if this was like an IMSA race or a VRS, yeah, probably you would go for that send. But with 49 minutes to go, I'm thinking in the next... Oh, Rob's going to correct me in a minute. I'm thinking in the next 2 laps we'll see pit stops. Or would you say 3? I want to say 2.
I would say in the next 5 to 10 minutes, depending on their fuel strategies. They could go for 2 long runs and then a very short run, or a long run and 2 medium runs.
Well, our risk taker Jonas Dreyer unfortunately has, you know, parked the car. The last 2 times I've seen him in an endurance race, he pits like 4 laps before anybody else, goes for an undercut, takes it, and then has to fuel for more in the final lap. No. He fuels less, sorry, but then he has to fuel for more in the last. So he goes short then long, and it does work depending on where he is on the track. And it probably could have worked today had he not had that moment. The gap just continues to shrink and expand, and then shrink and expand, and it does say to me that Armstrong is looking possibly at fuel saving. Times now are 2 minute .251, 2 minute 293 for Van der Weegar. So doesn't suggest fuel saving, but with that slipstream, you've got to think that Armstrong might just be lifting before he gets the brake for the corners, just doing the traditional, fuel saving strategy. It'd be the same as well in those amateurs. That battle between Furs, Gilding, Hitchkin, Beamont, I think you'd be getting that as well. Just holding on, trying to find where you can lift and just save the fuel, as we are expecting them in the next 5 minutes to be coming in for their first pit stops.
You see, we're on board with Van der Weegar as he looks backwards towards James Armstrong, and he's just trying to keep him there as best he can. If he keeps him there, he's fine.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Whoa, I said in the next 2 laps. Did not expect that from Tanguy. That's very early. In fact, Will Egby's coming as well. So maybe these guys are near the end of their fuel and everybody else is just...
Van Asch is staying out. Harry Wills coming in. Richard Dempsey coming in. Chris Staines staying out. What about Christian Furs? He stays out. Daniel Gilding stays out. Andy Hitchkins coming in for Midland Sim Racing. Or as we like to call it, Simland Mid Racing. Callum Beeman of Simland Mid Racing, or Sim Mid Land Racing.
Oh my god, no. Oh no. Oh no.
Sim Mid Land Racing. Oh, I'll crack myself up. Simon Dodd coming in. Leiden Lee is actually quite far back. So we're just going to see what they do. Leiden Lee is coming in. Chris Chatterton is staying out. Matthew Sewell coming in. Dean Timms staying out. So it's a mixed bag. And what about Brent Bravata? He stays out. So it's a mixed bag. So, it's more than half the field has come into the pits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 drivers have stayed out.
So I'm looking at my reading. And Van der Weegar was from pit lane entry to pit lane exit was 55.4 seconds. Well, Egby was 54.3 seconds. So Egby makes a second up there. I might be right, I might be wrong. That's what my numbers are saying.
I have very similar numbers, yeah.
That's a relief to see. Will's at a 55.6 in the pit. Dempsey with a 56.9. Hitchkins with a 56.7. Here comes Armstrong in the pits now. It'd be interesting if Egby did do that 54.3 just to see what the difference is. Does Van Asch come in? He does. Now, what about Chris Danes? Well, he's still quite a while away. We'll just see if he darts into the pits. He stays out. Well then, that I was not expecting.
Christian Ferris on the way in. Does Daniel Gilding coming? Yes, he does. Remember that in Silverstone, it's quite a hairy little thing. You're limited to 56 kilometers an hour, which is a snail's pace for these cars, and it feels like you're driving a shopping cart. And I mean, essentially, you are at that kind of speed, and you just gotta wait. You know, you gotta wait to get your box, and it's quite a drive coming in and out because you're just focused. You're focused on your pit limiters. Chris Dane's the only person now
Van der Weegar's coming around the first corner. Where is James Armstrong? He's there. In fact, James Armstrong may go down another position. Will Egby comes to provisional P2 now. Wow. That was a surprise. That extra second. I'll tell you what, on my screen, I've got Armstrong and Van Asch registering 57.1 and 57.3 respectively. That's long. And Christian Furs with a 58 flat. Where's Christian Furs? Where does he come out on track?
He's still in the lead.
Just though. Just.
And Andy Hitchkins passes Daniel Gilding. So Andy Hitchkins of Simland Mid Racers is in second place for amateur. And where is
kill you for that.
And Callum Beamont of Midland Sim Racers in fourth. He's actually lost the position by my calculation. He's lost the position, but they've all had no correction. Christian Furs has spent an extra second in a pit stall, but apart from that, they spent very similar times in the pits themselves.
Chris Danes is probably one of the last cars to come in to get his lap time. I think he was battling Richard Dempsey. Where Dempsey is at the moment, just coming to Maggott and Beckett. You know, I think that Danes might get that position. That would be very good for him. But James Armstrong now in P3. That is one to watch out for. Van Asch as well, really going up the table. Van der Weegar. Well, yeah, Van Asch, by the way, taking that P4. So, again, that's a position gained on him, but he is quite a way back. Chris Danes is in his box right now as Van der Weegar comes by. So that just gives you an idea of what a 20-second deficit is to the guys at front. That's Brent Ravata just coming out of the pits there. Hopefully, he doesn't cause anything. He might cause a little bit of a slow for Will Egby, and James Armstrong sees this. Might have teammates having battles at dawn at the moment as Armstrong. Yeah, he's taking different lines. He's just a little bit in rhythm compared to Egby, who might have just lost his rhythm with that lap car. Lap car is nowhere near to pull to one side to let these guys go by. So Egby's on the defense right now, but that does split Armstrong. Because look where Armstrong is. He's P3. He's now 2 seconds behind Van der Weegar. And this is not working. Because he had pole. And if he lets Van der Weegar just go, he's not the fastest here. We know Armstrong's faster, but what can Armstrong do right now? He's 2.5 seconds behind. Right. So we have showed the pros, and we'll go back to that because Egby and Armstrong teammates, they will be battling it out, of course. How's that amateur battle going on, by the way? Well, Christian Furs has had a moment. Christian Furs has had a moment this lap, and I do not know where it's come from. Oh, he's had a moment with... Well, that's Andy Hitchkins. No, he's sorry, he's spun himself. He spun himself at Village. And so the leader of the amateurs, Christian Furs, has gone down to, and I got to check this, Callum Beaumont he's gone down to 4th in the amateurs. He's 6 seconds behind Andy Hitchkins, who now takes the lead of the amateurs. So, of course, that's
you said, by the way, not only did I go away and come back to hearing you saying some naughty things, I come back and you said a naughty thing called Beaumont.
I said Beaumont. My voice, my raspy voice. Come on, come on, come on, baby.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what happened to Christian first. Where did he lose it?
At Village, on last lap at Village.
Oh, crikey. Village is becoming a very tricky spot for these drivers.
I'm amazed because that's a slow corner. So did he just go in too hot?
Yeah, he did.
He's got it right now. Yeah, I think he missed his braking. That's a crazy place to lose the braking, though. So, pros are a little bit quiet in the pros at the moment. Of course, with Egby and Armstrong are battling, but teammates, so you might see. I say that Armstrong's had a moment. Armstrong's had a moment as I just looked at him at Cops, and he loses the car at Cops. And I've got to say now, Rob, 60% humidity track. I think that humidity is starting to play factor because we've seen a car spin going into Village. We have seen Armstrong lose it going into the first corner at Abbey. We have seen a car now. We've seen Armstrong again losing it at Cops. Dare I say it, there is something going on with this track state right now. That humidity is starting to play a factor.
It's all about trying to keep your car on the track, making the least amount of mistakes. Unfortunately, Will Egby is out on his own, chasing down Van der Wieghe. But Will Egby is setting faster laps, but he's only doing it at 1/10 of a second per lap. So, by our reckoning, he only gets a slipstream within 10 laps, within the next 10 laps. And it's not going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to be easy. You know, it's going to be a lot of focus to try and get back at Van der Wieghe.
It's eyes down. Don't look at the delta. Just keep running. That's the one good thing with these Lamborghinis, by the way. When I was driving these Lamborghinis, it's hard to pay attention to a delta. Although, if he's got the screen that shows the time, lap time and difference, then, yeah, you're going to be focusing on a delta. And realistically, you want to be setting your dash to the qualifying page so you don't see the delta in such a bright and big position on the dashboard, because you do not want your eyes on that. You want to keep your eyes on the road. And as I say that, Egby has an off track at Cops. You don't want that. Eyes down, look in. We're not playing bingo. You just got to keep focused on every apex. And what is it Jeff from Crew Chief says? Apex and apexes. Apex and apexes.
Daniel Gilding chasing down Andy Hitchkins of Simland Mid Racing. I probably made Craig laugh on the phone.
I swear.
You got the idea stuck in my head.
Midland Sim Racing. Say it with me. Midland.
Simlad Mid Racing.
Oh dear. Well, the gap is 0.3 between these guys. We're coming to the 35-minute mark. Again, not much happening. This is the battle for the lead. Ted Bradbury, by the way, had parked the car. I did hear him talking about the wrong setup this week, so that could be the reason for Ted. A bit of a shame there for Ted, but it is a tricky track, Silverstone, so you can be forgiven. Gilding just not having a good time there. Almost looked like he kicked up some dust and he took a different line through farm curve, which meant he didn't get kicked out a lot at the apex, and slowing fast out is kind of the line he was looking there. He's not gained anything by doing that. Again, this is just really a battle now. I think Daniel's now realizing it would be wise if he just decides to, well, just fuel stage, especially with Christian Furs. He is making his way back up though, Rob. He's 2 seconds behind Callum Beament, and yeah, it might be a case of Furs get back on the podium, but yeah, he's 5.5, 6 seconds behind the leaders. Got to keep it by. By the way, the amateurs are so spread out. Christian Furs is 50 seconds ahead of P7. So that just goes to show you how spread out the amateurs are outside of this lead battle.
Well, let's put it this way.
Oh, Harry Wills. Sorry, Harry Wills. Harry Wills has just had a wobble. I went to look at him just at the right time. He's just had a wobble at Beckett's. And how he hasn't lost more time or spun that car, not entirely sure, because you'll watch this replay right here, and the car just says no again.
Oh, that's a brown. That's a cold brown. Oh my crikey!
Again, 60% humidity track state. It's causing 23 Celsius is cold, but this humidity is high for what would be a British track. And again, he had a little bit of a slide coming through the last corner of the lap. And you've got to think to yourself that maybe, just maybe, that this track is just starting to make the drivers get scared. Just tell the drivers you want grip, you're not having it. Come on, learn how to drive, because you're not having the grip right now. And even with these cars with TCR and ABS, not TCR, sorry, TC and ABS,
I was just thinking to myself, how do they have an entire class just crammed into the car? Tell me, Craig.
They shrunk it and just put the car in there. But in all due seriousness, he was in limbo at P5. He's now got Richard Dempsey right behind him and Chris Dane. So there's going to be a 3-car battle shortly for P5 in the pros. So I will let you work. I will let you do. Sorry, I need to go back to my workings out to see how a TCR fits in a Lamborghini GT3. So, please, just let me work that out for a moment. Let my brain rack.
Back with Daniel Gilding. He's still chasing down the boy himself of Andy Hitchkins. And Andy, I think he's trying his best to make sure that the car of Daniel Gilding is nowhere near him when he's coming up to a straight section like this one, going under Johnny Walker. This would be a very great position to be able to overtake, because you basically, unless you want to do a what's the word I'm looking for? Unless you want to do a Sebastian Vettel. And coming around Stowe into the Vale chicane. Remember when we hit the rear end of Verstappen?
Verstappen, yeah. I always forget it was at Vale. Yeah, I always forget it's at Vale. When you look at a race on a TV, it always looks different to when you're on iRacing or any sim or Simcade and just seeing it. So it always surprises me, because they have different colors and all different banners and stuff, so it always looks different around here. This bridge that Gilding and Hitchkins is going under probably got loads of sponsors like Pirelli or Aramco or you get the idea when it's race day. But as you go around now, it's just bare, which is nice. I do like bare. But yeah, you gotta pay the money somehow with sponsors. Just like TrackCams22.com providing these camera angles and the helicopter shot you're seeing right now. So there's our shield for the day. Right, we have had a positional change, by the way. Richard Dempsey has gotten past Harry Wills at P5, as you were seeing in the timing towers. That was actually down. Well, I think he did it. Yeah, he did it into Luffield. So he took P5 away from Wills. Wills is now in this this little gaggle right here. You got Richard Dempsey, half a second behind him is Harry Wills, a couple tenths of a second behind him is Chris Daines. So these three battling for P5 in a very contested battle. Where is everybody in the leaders? That they're very spread out at the moment. Egby cannot gain on Van Noega, so we'll look away from that. You'll have.
When he lost time as well. He lost half a second that lap. On that last lap.
Pass.
No, that was a statement. That was a statement.
Okay, right, yeah. He lost half a second. I'm keeping my eyes on this battle for P5, by the way. 5, 6, and 7. It looks really good. Oh, Chris Daines touches Harry Wills and Wills almost spins around. I'm not sure how he didn't spin around there. I think Daines just put the foot on the brakes to just make sure he didn't send any momentum. But I wouldn't be surprised if Daines comes and takes his P6 away from Wills. And if these two keep battling, Dempsey's just going to be up ahead like, okay, that's fine. And for the second time in as many laps, Harry Wills loses a position going into Brooklands.
You just see probably the sheer confusion of Harry. How's it gone so wrong in 2 laps? He's lost 2 positions. If he goes any further down the pecking order, he's going to be, been questioning what's going on with this car. Is it broken?
I have not seen any issues. Not seen him go over any,
any sausage curbs, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Christian Furze, by the way, has caught up to the rear end of Callum Beeman. And this is the battle for third, as it is in amateur. With 27 minutes to go on lap 24. Coming up to 25 now. Is it 25? No, it's 24. Correction. Just ticked over as I was saying that. And I only read it. But Christian Furze is battling Colin Beeman for third position. There's a car ahead of them. I think that is a lapped car.
It is.
So it might prove useful to bookmark. Pass and bookmark. And Daniel Gilding is still trying his best to keep up with Andy Hitchkins as they battle for the lead of amateur. However, Andy Hitchkins was just under 0.2 of a second a lap faster than Daniel Gilding was on that last lap alone. So Gilding is in a danger zone of being able to keep. He's in a danger zone of losing his
slipstream. Yeah, I finished the word for you. His slipstream. Yeah, losing his slipstream there. He is losing it. It's not looking good for Gilding at the moment. The only plus side he's got is that he has got. Oh my word! I just saw there was a car spinning. Was that Bravata just going wide for the lap cars? It was. So that's okay. I was a little bit worried there for a moment because you've got this little unique battle going on in the amateurs right now. Andy Hitchkins. Oh no! There's a car going off. That's Harry Wills. Harry Wills has had a massive off. A massive off. What on earth's happened here? Loses it at Stowe. At Cox, sorry. Slides the car. And he tries to correct it.
Oh, he had lost it before. Oh! He had lost it. And then came across the track. Oh! Was there ever such a thing as a Brian Pans moment? I think this is, look at his wheel. Trying to keep it going. No. Still trying to, oh my crikey.
He does have steering damage. He does have a little bit of suspension damage. And the worst thing is that the steering wheel is slightly to the left. Look at
this.
Right.
Look at this. Like, he's going fine. He's corrected it, and then the car just went like, "Oh, you thought it was over."
And then he's trying to fight it, and
There's
to
a
be
wall.
fair, you can see he tried to fight it all the way because at the last moment he manages to flick the car away, side onto the wall, but unfortunately the wall just literally fires up in the air, and he's just unlucky there. But such a weird, that the ricochet was such a weird moment there. But Harry Wheels out possibly of the race, but I'm just looking. No other pro is behind him that's still going. Bradbury's out of the race. Drea's out of the race. Taylor Lane never took the start. Harry Melvin also out the race. So, he can consolidate this position, or, he could just hope for the best. Someone else had to crash and just continue. So, that just leads to one battle in the pros, which is Dempsey versus Danes for P5. The important position, as I always call it. So, that one's starting to heat up a little bit. It's Danes coming through Maggots and Beckett's, was right on the back of Dempsey, and he just leaves a little bit of space there for Dempsey. I think Danes might just cut his losses going up the hangar straight. Hey, look, Rob, there's a bridge.
Yeah, but that's a Johnny Walker bridge. That doesn't count. You know what bridge I meant.
And Chris Danes is saving fuel. I would say, with the way he just lifted off there for Maggots and Beckett, it does suggest to me that he is fuel saving. That's a lot to fuel save. It's a lot of time to lose if he wasn't fuel saving. That's the right word. He's not saving a lot per se, but yeah, he is using this to his advantage. He knows that if he wanted to, he could go for the... Hey, here comes the amateurs, by the way. Hitchkins and Gilding stays out, as they did before. Well, not Hitchkins. He's got an extra lap. Furs and Beaumont, though, they come in. Does Ryan Hamilton join them? No. A bit too early to see about anybody else. The gap between P5, which is Hamilton, and P6 Sewell is 40 seconds, so we can't tell. So third and fourth are in the pits right now. Who gets out first? First got in there a second earlier. Who's going to blink first? You've got to think that Beaumont might have saved, and he has. Look at it, he's out already. Furs is still in there. Christian's still in there. This is not good for Christian Furs. He's still in. Is he serving a penalty? I think he's serving a penalty.
Well, Furs?
I think Christian Furs is serving a penalty. You have to come back to me on that one. I think Christian Furs might be serving a penalty. He might have been speeding. I'm just going to see when he brakes for the line. He gets... Oh, no, I think he's all right, but that's a long pit stop. That's a minute 30. That's an extra 40 seconds. What has happened to Christian Furs in that pit stop?
Did he take tires?
I never saw that car go up on the jacks. But I will fast forward to check. No, I reckon he had a penalty. Does seem very weird. The car does not go on the jacks, not on my screen. So it does look to me that the championship leader had a slowdown, a penalty, sorry, but it didn't look like he was speeding in the pit lane. Actually, I take it back because the pit speed is 55 kilometers and he got into the pits at 66 kilometers. So I think he might have had a speeding penalty.
And it'll do it to you in a heartbeat.
So his best at the moment, he will be P4 overall. But he has got the leaders right behind him. He might get lapped. But Van der Weege, I'm pretty sure, will be pitting this lap. If not this lap, the next lap. He's got a 2.5 second lead over Will Egby. James Armstrong tried to get that gap down to 5 seconds. But Van der Weege does not pit this time. So the next question is, the main battle of the race for pros now is between Dempsey and Danes. Will Wakeby does pit, by the way. But Dempsey and Danes are the closest battle on the track for the pros. And Dempsey's on defense right now. But Danes, I don't think, is really looking to make any attacks. And again, he lifts, he's fuel saving. But will Dempsey pit this time? Wouldn't surprise me if Danes goes another lap, maybe 2. In fact, he was one of the last guys to pit. So he can go longer than any of these guys on the track. Get your head out the gutter, folks. Oh, no! No, Dempsey's been hit from Danes. And Danes is going to take that P5. Not how he wanted it, though. Not how he wanted it. But he takes P5 away from Dempsey after Dempsey makes a mistake.
What? You got a bit of an issue. The timing. Oh, it's all gone wrong. My overlays just died. What?
So
Take 2 on the.
In classic Murray Walker fashion, now we have lost the timings. We will have to go back to the old-fashioned way with me telling you what I see on the television screen. Or for me, it's a computer screen. I will keep you up to date with the positions while Rob hits the restart button.
The big old red button that says restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of like the lap times and stuff are pretty messed up right now.
Right, so
it's saying Callum Bowman's 51 minutes behind Van der Weege, but that's not correct either.
No, because there's no such thing as Callum Beaumont.
I said Beeman.
No, you said Beaumont.
I corrected myself to say Beeman.
Tanguy van der Weege is in the pits, though. James Armstrong, I think, might be joining him. No, he is not. He's staying out. He's gone an extra lap than his teammate. He's gone an extra lap than Weege, so he's going to be 2 laps later. Sorry, I just needed a quick sneeze. I think I might get rid of it. Nope, I can't. And then as I mute the microphone, it doesn't happen. Anyway, so Armstrong stays out. What am I saying? It's one of those days. Little battle in the pros between Danes and Dempsey. Danes lost that P5, by the way. Danny Hitchkins in the amateur lead pits, but Daniel Gilding does not. And still, Dempsey, Danes continues the battle. This is going to be an interesting fight between these two. Not really sure that Danes wants to be taking a fight right now. He's happy enough to do fuel saving. But at the same time, there's Van der Weege that's just come out the pits right in front of these two as they're battling. Tanguy, by the way, on my screen did 48 seconds in the pit. The very short pit stop there. Compared to the others, I know that some of them have been taking 51 seconds. So a very light pit stop there for Van der Weege. As Danes tried to go around the outside. Is he going to make this move stick? Through Brooklands into Luffield. He made that move stick. And Danes with a great move on Dempsey around the outside of Brooklands. Takes back P5. Or P4, sorry.
Chris Danes. Remember, the 2 of them are going to have to stop again. Richard Dempsey and Chris Danes. Has he made the move and has he got enough buffer in terms of fuel saving? They can stick ahead. Let's wait and see. Armstrong, where is he? He's just coming through. He's staying out. Van Ash is staying out. That's a car just dove into the pits. The VRT car. That is going to be Leiden Lee diving into the pits. Remember, 24 started this race. 19 are still running. Correction,
Rob,
18.
Rob, do you want drama?
Yes.
Do you want more drama? Ryan Hamilton took tyres.
No!
Ryan Hamilton in P3 of the amateurs took tyres. And he is behind Christian Furs by 7 seconds. He might be able to fight Furs for P4. But I think that puts Furs in P3 right now. Furs is somehow going to get a P3 after that penalty. They still got to wait for the rest of the cars to take their pit stops. Dempsey now coming into the pits. He was battling Chris Danes as Chris Danes continues to go around. And this is great for Danes, though, because he doesn't need to battle Van der Weege. So he's just going to use Van der Weege as slipstream to save even more fuel. We're definitely doing 37 laps, by the way, folks. We're on lap 30. This is going to be great for Danes. This could actually... I don't think he's going to be able to get up to the top 3. But this may consolidate, a P4/P5. So this could be interesting to see when he comes into the pits.
It'd be interesting to see how the different pit stops play out. As Armstrong, does he come into the pits this time by? He has absolutely been gunning it for like the last 3 or 4 laps, putting the fast times out there of anybody. And here it comes to the pits. Dennis Van Asch, does he come into the pits this time by? 14 minutes to go. He'll have to do it this lap or next lap. He's done it this lap.
And that would basically mean that Chris Danes will be coming in this lap as well. And then Daniel Gilding, who's currently leading the amateurs, I think he'll be coming in as well. We'll wait and see. Chris Danes will be coming. He's taking... No. Really? Another lap? Wow. I am surprised at that. Daniel Gilding does come into the pits, and Andy Hitchkins is only 30 seconds behind. He's just coming on to the hangar straight. Hitchkins might take the lead. Got to wait and see. Where does Daniel Gilding? He's still in the pit lane. He's in the fast lane. He's going to be moving over to his stall very shortly. Gap of 22 seconds. What happens here? He now into his pit box. Gap is 17 seconds. Hitchkins is now coming up to the Bell chicane. We know Gilding does not have to fuel as much as he would have done the first time. Gap is now 5 seconds. Remember, Hitchkins has to go around Abbey. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Hitchkins is about to overtake him as Gilding comes out the pit lane. The gap's going to be a second. The gap is just going to be over a second. 3 seconds, sorry. I'm looking at Dempsey. Hitchkins had a 3-second lead over Daniel Gilding. And, of course, Hitchkins spent a second less in the pits. So that's going to play very crucial. Also, Dean Timms now coming into the pits. So Christian Furs and Ryan Hamilton will have their space. And it's going to be interesting because Furs on old tyres, 10 seconds up the road from Hamilton, who's on a fresh set of rubber. So that will be interesting. Christian Furs may get away with a P3 here. That is going to be a. I almost want to say it's a daylight robbery because Furs has had a couple mistakes. I was looking at a P4, or maybe even a P5 at one stage, and then the speeding penalty. And he's going to get a P3 because of mistakes in the pit box by other drivers. Unless Brian Hamilton in the next 10 minutes somehow finds pace with brand new tyres, but don't think I can see it right now. And by the way, Chris Danes is still out there. I think he's found like an extra fuel tank because he is just battling right now. How is he still out there on that same fuel, on that same tank?
Yeah, I'm very surprised that he's able to go on for this long.
Well, he did pit lap 16 first time around, and we're at lap 32. So, yeah, he does have the facility to go long. He might he might think about this, Rob, flash and dash, because if he's got the slipstream with Van der Weege, he's been fuel saving again. He might just splash and dash for like 3 laps at the end of the race, which could help him. You know, that would put him way ahead of way ahead of Dennis Van Asch, who's only 20 seconds behind him. So or Dempsey, who's 38. So we'll wait and see when that happens. We don't talk about Daytona, unfortunately, for Chris Daines because it all went wrong for him. But yes, no, he is a fuel-saving genius. Well, he's good at fuel saving, full stop. And the key thing for fuel saving as well is to make sure you can, be fast as well as save fuel. So that's going to be crucial for him. He should be coming in this time. He does. Lap 33 of 37 starts in a couple of corners for these drivers. 9 minutes remaining.
Nine minutes to go. Andy Hitchkins is lead amateur with, unfortunately, James Armstrong has not come out in a proper place to tackle Van der Wegen. He's 5 seconds behind him, but he is now ahead of Will Egby. Chris Daines is in the pits, finally, after what seemed like an eternity. Dennis Van Ash goes into the fourth. Andy Hitchkins could theoretically go up into... Oh, well, when I say that, no, he's not going to be able to go up in the 5th position overall. He is still the amateur, though. That is Daniel Gilding in the background. Still attempting to try and catch up, but he's not doing it at the pace he needs to be. And with time fading fast, and on lap 33 of 38, he'll have to do something.
I must admit, Rob, it's 37 now. It is officially a 37-lap race. The ticker is 36.6. Before they went into the pit, it was 36.98. But now it's down to 36.6, so it's definitely 37 laps. 8 minutes tick over. The gaps have been growing. And really, that's not where you want the gaps. By the way, Christian Furs, compared the gap between Christian Furs and Callum Beaumont, the gap between 3rd and 4th is 32 seconds. Ryan Hamilton unable to keep fighting. So Daniel Gilding at the moment is in that P2, but he's 2.8 behind Andy Hitchkins, and he's got to get past Richard Dempsey. Callum Beaumont, is currently 15 seconds behind them. He's in a bit of limbo right now. Got a podium all the while for the B-man. That will give him the points to keep up with Christian Furs, and in fact would possibly overtake Christian Furs in the championship. Remember, 6 points was the gap between the two of them, and Beeman is going to be ahead of Furs with the standings in this race. So that is a crucial moment in the championship right now, with Beeman currently sitting P3. It's weird to say a P3 is crucial at this stage of the season. But it all depends on where you are ahead of your rival, and he's ahead of his rival by quite a bit right now, a whole 31 seconds. So, bearing any serious mistakes, I think Beeman has that P3 in the bag.
Some people believe that he's not pushing hard enough, so why doesn't he move? Oh, and I've almost cursed Richard Dempsey. Went very wide going into farm, is it?
Oh yeah, very wide into farm and then into village and at the loop. Sorry.
Why do they call it farm? Like of all the corner names.
Farm is that one is that the widening left-hander which has caught a couple of people out. Village is that slow right. No idea why they've done it that way. Which is why there was a big fanfare over the start-finish straight being called the Lewis Hamilton Straight, because I think it's got something to do with like the old like locations of stuff at the racetrack, but there's nothing named after a driver or anybody at Silverstone. So to have the Lewis Hamilton Straight, the Sir Lewis Hamilton Straight, it is going to be a bit crazy, but Hey, Crofty's going to have a field day. Just imagine it, Rob. Just imagine it.
It's called farm because people have been plowing the grass.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Dude.
That is a good one. But no, can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine Crofty if Lewis Hamilton wins the race? And coming around the corner that bears his name, Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. You know, it would be something like, if he says that, right? I ought to put money on that because I reckon that's what Crofty will say. If Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix.
Crofty is a bit of a cringe artist, so I mean, he would do something that cringe. I mean, it's not a bad thing that the straight is named after him, but I mean, like, you don't need to rub it in his face. Don't need to butter up his scone that much.
Gone.
What do you mean gone?
Gone. Not scone. Scone.
Well, you British don't understand what scone is.
No, I call them both. I just thought I'd just yank your chain there for a moment.
Do you know, speaking of yanking the chain, I unironically found a few weeks ago, and I've been meaning to tell you this, I actually found the first restroom that, or in a long time, first restroom that actually used a yank for the toilet flush.
How old was that toilet?
It didn't look very old, actually. It actually looked brand new.
Wow.
And like the stall itself was pristine. Like it had just been built like, you know, a year ago or something. Just as cringe as using 20 minutes of Star Wars cuts. You see, we embrace our cringe because, you know, we already know we're not on the same level as Crofty. So we just play to our own strengths. But Crofty tries to be that.
Yeah, it was Will Buxton. It was Will Buxton during testing that put the Star Wars quotes in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah.
And to be fair, to be perfectly fair, Crofty tries a little bit too hard sometimes. We do it organically.
No. Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, I agree.
Mostly, maybe.
Some people do. Some people do go a little bit too hard. You can't help but, you know, he does have that hype that a lot of people don't bring. As much as people can, you know, criticize sometimes his mistakes. Which is funny because, you know, like people have been saying recently, Murray Walker makes a mistake. It's all part of the gimmick, and you know, and everyone laughs at it. But Crofty makes a mistake, and everybody wants to berate him for it. So,
I mean, to be fair, that comes back to the point that I was saying was I think Crofty trying a little bit too hard to. Murray nails it in terms of. I think, without any better way of putting it, I think he just comes across as a lot more approachable of a person. Crofty is the kind of person that has probably had one too many Red Bull.
Other energy drinks are available.
And of course, other energy drinks are available. And by the way, we're coming up to the white flag, so it is indeed 37 laps. I was right on the money. So I win a prize of nothing. Win nothing. As that is
win nothing, yeah. Hold on.
We win absolutely nothing as Van der Weghe comes across to take the white flag and the final lap around Silverstone. Will Egby is still trying to chase down his teammate of James Armstrong, but it'll be a 2-3 for Project Dynamic, which I think they'll be pretty happy with. I'm pretty chuffed about. Richard Dempsey battling. Oh, maybe Crofty is the one sponsored by Rich Energy. Conspiracy theories. We're getting to that stage now, where conspiracy theories run aloft about how Crofty.
Do we get demonetized for that? Do we?
What? Me talking about rich energy?
No,
It's
conspiracy theories. What if I told you that rich energy had the source of life?
Now that's just false.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Be quite worried. Well, the Running Sin Sport man he's driven well today. Kept it clean, he kept it straight. Not put a foot wrong. He gained that lead due to a mistake from James Armstrong, and Armstrong's done pretty well to keep that P2, by the way. Will Egby's been battling him for quite a while, his teammate, but was able to continue. So Tanguy van der Weghe is coming to Stowe. Just a few more corners. This lovely corner. I love Stowe. Love Stowe so much. This whole final sector is very nice. It always was nice in the back in the old days before 2008. Comes through the Vale chicane. Just one more corner to go. It's Club. And the winner of the Silverstone race in the Super Trofeo series goes to Tanguy van der Weghe. And James Armstrong will slowly come across the line now. He will take that P2 with his Project Dynamic teammate, Will Egby, taking P3. Still got some time left for Dennis Van Asch. He'll come across in P4. And Rob, let's just get a coffee while we wait for the rest of the cars.
Yeah, because there is a slight bit of an issue where the next car down is 17 seconds. And we get to Andy Hitchkins. Well, let's get the cameras on Andy. He started all the way back in 15th. Gained 9 places overall, and after Christian Furze made his mistake, he puts one on the scoreboard for the Midland Sim Racers and wins amateur for Silverstone.
Daniel Gilding will come home P2 for the amateurs, and slowly Callum Beamont will make it a 1-3 for Midland Sim Racers as he will come across the line very slowly. Those guys have had Murray Walker on the roof today, and Murray Walker in spirit will be proud of their drive. A 1-3 for Midland Sim Racers in the amateurs. Christian Furze, the championship leader, he's still out there. He's going to get P4, but Callum is his rival. This is a huge victory for Beamont. He will possibly lead the championship after this race as Christian Furze comes home in 4th. Now, of course, I say that because there are penalties still to be had because there is the scrutineering of pit stops to be done. But Furze comes home in 4th. Hamilton will be 5th. I think Yama is the last car. Yep, Zachary Yama will be the last car. It's actually already been passed, so Ryan Hamilton will be the last car through. He is done. That is all the cars, 11 cars on the lead lap.
And let's run through the results, shall we?
We shall indeed. Tanguy van der Weghe, like we were saying, won the race by 5 seconds over James Armstrong. Armstrong was leading, but a mistake going into Abbey cost him. Will Egby with some nice little fuel-saving strats there. Managed to get a P3. Dennis Van Asch gets P4. And Chris Dane, stand up. What a drive with that fuel saving. Going extra laps just to make sure he had that P5 sealed up over Dempsey. I think he saved about 3 seconds over Dempsey. Dempsey comes home in 7th, by the way, but in front of him is Andy Hitchkins, who wins the amateurs. And of course, we've done Dempsey and Daniel Gilding in their P2 for the amateurs. Callum Beaumont 3rd for the amateurs. Christian Furze goes 4th, the championship leader. Ryan Hamilton 5th for the amateurs. That's the only cars on the lead lap because the next 6 are a lap down. Matthew Sewell, Zachary Yama, Chris Chatterton, Simon Dodd, Dean Timt, and Lyden Lee. Then Brent Bravata, I did not see what happened to Brent, but he retired 10 laps down. Harry Wills had those moments, retired 13 laps down. 26 laps down for Ted Bradbury, 29 laps down for Harry Melvin. Jonas Dreyer, unfortunately, 32 laps down. Chris Hamer had an incident at the start of the race, and Taylor Lane did not take the grid. And look at these guys right now, Rob. The VRTs and the Eclipses just having a nice little procession through. And of course, those Eclipse guys, Sand Chatterton with Murray Walker on top of their cars, just like the Midland Sim Racers.
Where is it? Hang on. Oh, I was trying. No.
Pressed the wrong button, didn't you? Okay,
Hang on,
it's fine.
hang on. I need to pause it at the right time. Oh, it's all blurry. Hang on, I need to find something that isn't blurry. Is it on this rough? Nope. Hang on,
Not on a VRT. It's on an Eclipse though. Yeah. Rob's now like, I gotta find them. I gotta find them. Where are they? Where are they?
Yeah, hang on. Hang on. Alright, turn off this damn blur. Ah!
While Rob is doing that, I'll say once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Raidillon TV. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up as per usual, and the bell if you'd like to know or be notified of when we go live again. Remember, have our membership with the free tier list, of course, and of course underneath the video a link to our Discord. And once again, thank you to trackcams22.com for providing the camera angles. 2021 Season 2 starts this week, but before that we have Wednesday. It's a bumper night of racing on Wednesday. The RacingSimRigs World Series at the Nordschleife, followed by the Americas Series. And then, like I said, Season 2 starts Friday night, 1900 GMT. It's the Pure Driving School European Sprint Series at Sebring, followed by Sunday, the Huskenveld GT Challenge. I cannot remember where they are, but hopefully we will be able to provide the racing. Once again, that was for Murray. It was nice to have a race here around Silverstone just after the week we had, so thank you very much, everybody. I think to close off the night, I have been a raspy Craig King.
Hang on, I'm still getting there. You gotta buy me 5 seconds.
I gotta find it in 5 seconds. That's not all, folks.
There we go. I have it now.
That is fantastic, and that is for Murray. So, for one last time, like I said, I have been a raspy Craig King.
And I have been Robert O'Brien.
And look at that! This is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need.